This is Chris with AEW's Like, subscribe to TNW Wrestling on YouTube, subscribe to my other channel, Word of Chris, and subscribe to this channel, Chris with AEW's, and follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and it'll all be down there in the description box. And I am here to do my AEW Dynamite June 1st, 2022 reviews. So here we go, discussing about Dynamite. Now, this is the first show after Double or Nothing, so yeah, it was a big pay-per-view. It was a very long pay-per-view, but a good one. But we got another pay-per-view heading down the road, and it's Forbidden Door. So, yeah, that will be, I think, June 26th or 29th, somewhere around that time. I forgot exactly what date it will be on, actually. But, yeah, that's the next pay-per-view. AEW and New Japan Pro Wrestling teaming up to have this big event. So, yeah, we get to the first match of the night, actually. It was the AEW World Heavyweight Champion, CM Punk, teaming up with the ROH Tag Team Champions, Dax Harwood and Cash Wheeler, FTR, versus Max Caster and the Gun Club, Colton and Austin Guns, in a six-man tag team match. Now, Billy Gunn was at ringside, and same for Anthony Bowens. You know, the Acclaim came down rapping and all that. It was pretty funny, of course. Like, they was talking about Amber Heard and all that stuff. You know, talking about Punk and all them. So yeah, there's some funny stuff going on there. And, I think Anthony Bowens at one point actually called the Gun Club fucking idiots. I think that's what he said, on TV, so yeah. Pretty funny stuff, though. But then we get to the six-man tag team match. It was an okay match to kick off Dynamite, at least. At the ending of this match, we've seen CM Punk hit the elbow drop off the top turnbuckle, and then he was about to finish, I want to say, Austin Gunn? Yeah. I think Austin was the one that was legal. And he was picking him up so he could hit the go-to-sleep onto him. But then Billy Gunn gets on the ring apron, distracting Punk. Austin then rolls him up. Punk kicks out at two. He was trying to hit the Famouser onto Punk, but then Punk held on to him, power bombs him into Billy Gunn, which was kind of a little bit of a mess up right there, but he still got him, knocked Billy Gunn off the apron, and then he picks up Austin, hits the go-to-sleep onto him. He already tagged in Dax at that moment before he hit the go-to-sleep, so he hit the go-to-sleep. FTR was already in the ring and hit the big rig onto Austin Gunn, pinning him for the 3 count. So yeah, FTR and CM Punk defeated the Gun Club and Max Caster tonight in the six-man tag team match. So yeah, it was a pretty good match. But then after that match ended, Punk grabs the mic, him and FTR is talking, pretty much calling out anybody. They want to face somebody at Forbidden Door and all that. They don't care who it is. So yeah, CM Punk was laying down the challenge, and then Hiroshi Tanahashi answers Punk's challenge. So yeah, Tanahashi answers his challenge, and it looks like probably at Forbidden Door we will see Tanahashi versus Punk one-on-one. So yeah, that'll be at the pay-per-view. So yeah, up next MJF will be on the show. So yeah, see you guys later. Until then. Oh yeah, and for that match I'll give it 2 stars. That's what I'll give it. So yeah, see you guys later. Until then. So the next thing that happened on AEW Dynamite, oh boy, now this is, it was pretty damn good, I'm not even going to lie, but, holy crap. So the next thing that happened was MJF coming on TV and all that stuff. So yeah, he came out after the six-man tag team match. He had a mic. He starts laying in some shit, like, at first, it was like, he comes out, you know, he got the scarf and all that stuff, so yeah. He tells the people in the back to cut his music, He grabs the mic, and he starts going off like this. So it was like, you know, I'm beaten, I'm bruised up from Sunday and all that stuff. And then he looks, and he goes like, you know what, screw that crap. Let's go ahead and talk about the real issue in this place. And then he takes off the scarf and he starts laying into a lot of stuff. Talking about, you know, the stuff that was going on Sunday at Double or Nothing. Talking about his pay, his all everything. So yeah, he was laying in on all that stuff. Pretty much while he was talking shit to the fans. Talking about, like, you say I can't wrestle, But then the next time, y'all say that I can wrestle, but not long ago you were saying I couldn't wrestle. Is it because I actually protect guys in the ring and not be dropping them on their heads and all that stuff? And I'm actually trained, unlike the other guys and all that stuff. So that's what he was laying in on the fans about. And then he starts laying in about Tony Khan. Now, he was talking about, I don't give a shit about the executives being here watching because I'll ruin this whole damn place. And he starts laying it, talking about the payments and stuff. He said that he's not getting paid a lot like he should be because of, like, you know, if you look at the stats or whatever, he is the second superstar pretty much where people will come and watch AEW and stuff when he's on TV and all that stuff. So that's what he was saying. But he was talking about how he needs to get, how he wants his money and all that stuff, how he wants more money, and that he ain't an ex-WWE guy. Now, if he was an ex-WWE guy, he would be getting paid freaking double or triple of what he's making right now and all that stuff. So, yeah, that's what he was saying. He was laying in on a lot of stuff. Just going up the hell off, I'm not even going to lie. And then at one point he actually said he don't want to wait until 2024 when his contract ends. He wants to get fired. He wants Tony Khan to fire him, and he was just laying in, talking about he wants to get fired. He wants to get released from his contract. And then all of a sudden he's I don't know who the hell was talking. I don't know if it was a fan or whatever, but he says, "Shut the hell up, you fucking piece of shit." Well, not fucking piece of shit, but like, you piece of shit. But then, of course, he was talking about Tony Khan, and then all of a sudden you hear the blurring and stuff. Like, it was blurring out all the cuss words that he was saying and stuff. And then he was still talking, and then they cut off his mic, and then all of a sudden he quickly went to commercial break. So yeah, crazy stuff going on there. But yeah, pretty interesting, I'll say that. It would damn sure make more people watch, for sure, because it got me entertained. So, yeah. Crazy stuff. Don't know what else to say about it, but yeah, good stuff. But yeah, I'll see you guys later until the next thing happens on AEW Dynamite. See you guys later until then. So the next thing that happened on AEW Dynamite, it was a one-on-one match. It was Johnny E. Lee versus Miro, one-on-one. Now, Miro made his return back to AEW. He's been gone since the end of last year, I think like November, they said. So yeah, he's been gone for over 6 months now. And it was great to see Miro back. You know, he has a little promo package before saying the Redeemer is back. He comes out, he has his match against Johnny Elite. He was pretty much dominating the first half, then Johnny Elite started coming back a little bit, kicking Miro upside the head and all that. And then he climbed up the top turnbuckle about to hit his finisher move, where he does that flipping elbow drop type of move. But he jumped off, Miro moved out the way, and then Miro hits that super kick onto Johnny Elite, and then he stumps on his back, locks on the accolade, forcing him all the way back to the mat, pretty much locking his legs around him as well, making him tap out, and he won the match. So yeah, Miro defeated Johnny Elite tonight. He made his return back to AEW. It was pretty good with him returning and all that, since we haven't seen him in a while. So yeah, with that match, I'll give it 1.5 stars as well. It was an okay match, but it was great to see Miro return back to AEW. So yeah. But up next, we're going to be seeing the Jericho Appreciation Society up next on AEW. So yeah, they'll be on AEW Dynamite up next. So yeah, I'll see you guys later. Until then. So the next thing that happened on AEW Dynamite, we seen Chris Jericho and the rest of the Jericho Appreciation Society in the ring. Daniel Garcia was not with them because he gets a match against Jon Moxley later on tonight. So Jericho was pretty much talking about the Anarchy in the Arena match that they had against Eddie Kingston, Santana and Ortiz, and the BCC. So yeah, that's what they had the match with, and he was talking about how everybody won't be seeing Bryan Danielson tonight because he's not here tonight. and then Eddie Kingston was trying to catch him on fire, but he said, "What kind of people does that?" So that was pretty funny. And then Eddie Kingston comes out, and he had William Regal with him, and he said, Kingston looks at William, and he goes like, "Tell him what we want." And then all of a sudden, William Regal says, "Blood and guts." So yeah, Eddie Kingston wants to take on the Jericho Appreciation Society in a blood and guts match. It's the War Games match, so yeah, that's why they want to face him. And then all of a sudden, Eddie Kingston's like, screw it. He goes down there, wants to fight Jericho. Jericho gives Jake Hager and 2.0 on him. And then they start attacking Eddie Kingston outside the ring. Jericho's still inside the ring. And then he turns around, he gets hit upside the head with a sock by Ortiz. And then Ortiz has scissors in his hands. He starts cutting off a little bit of Jericho's hair. Jake Hager and them gets back in the ring. Ortiz quickly got out of the ring, and then Jericho was like, "You want blood and guts? You got it." And then he goes like, "Well, you know what, Ortiz, since he cut my hair, I want a hair versus hair match against you too." So yeah, that's what he said, and then, yep, those two matches are now set up. A hair versus hair match and the War Games match. So yeah, that's what's going to be happening. Pretty good segment though. So yeah, I'll see you guys later until the next thing that happens on Dynamite. See you guys later until then. So the next thing that happened on AEW Dynamite, it was a 10-man tag team match. Now, this went from a 10-man tag team match to an 8-man, and then now 10 again. So, let's go ahead and break it down. So, it was originally supposed to be the Hardys and Jurassic Express and Christian Cage versus the Young Bucks, Adam Cole, and Red Dragon. And then it became an 8-man tag team match because Jeff is injured. And I don't know what's going on with Adam Cole. He's probably injured as well. Because I'll talk about how it became a 10-man then. So Cole and Jeff was out of the match. And it was an 8-man tag team match at that point. And then became a 10-man tag team match. But this time they added in Darby Allin, which is Jeff Hardy's replacement, and Haiku Leo is Adam Cole's replacement. So yeah, but Adam Cole and Jeff Hardy were still on Dynamite for tonight. Jeff Hardy came out with Matt Hardy, and I guess he went backstage. So yeah, he was on Dynamite, and then Adam Cole, he went on commentary. So yeah, I don't know what's going on with Adam Cole's situation. He's probably injured as well. So yeah, I don't know about that. I don't know what happened with that. But I know Jeff Hardy is injured. So yeah, that's why he got taken out of the match. But yeah, that explains why it became a 10-man tag team match again. So yeah, we get into the match. It was a pretty good match. At the ending, there was one point where Christian Cage actually hit a nice spear, jumping off the ring apron, hitting it onto Haiku Leo outside the ring. And then after that, we seen the Young Bucks laying out Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy with some super kicks. And then they was about to hit the BTE trigger onto Jungle Boy, but then Matt Hardy comes in there, breaking it up and everything, and then Red Dragon comes in there, hitting high-low onto Matt Hardy, laying him out, and then the Young Bucks hit the Meltzer driver onto Jungle Boy, pinning him for the 3 count. So yeah, the Young Bucks, Red Dragon, and Haiku Leo defeated Matt Hardy, Christian Cage, Darby Allin, and Jurassic Express tonight in the 10-man tag team match. It was a pretty good 10-man tag team match, so yeah, if you have yet, go check it out. I'll give that match 2.5 stars. That's what I'll give it. It was a pretty good match, though. But then after that, we seen Swerve Strickland, Keith Lee talking backstage. They were talking about how they're going to go after the tag team titles and all that stuff. So yeah, that was pretty cool. And then we get to another segment where Tony Schiavone was interviewing Athena, who is Amber Moon from WWE. So yeah, she made her debut at Double or Nothing, and she was talking about how she's going to go after the TBS Women's Championship. And then Jade Cargill, Red Velvet, and Kiera Hogan and Stokely Hathaway came out, and Stokely Hathaway was talking about how me and you made our debuts on the same night, Athena, and you couldn't keep your damn business to yourself. And then all of a sudden we seen, after we seen the baddies pretty much getting face to face with Athena, we seen Anna Jay and Chris Statlander come out, about to go off with Athena up against the baddies, and then all of a sudden Stokely Hathaway called out the security. The referees came out and held them all back. So yeah, that's what happened there. But it was an okay segment. So yeah, but yeah, it's great to see Athena on the roster because it's pretty good to see the women's roster get built up a little bit more. Now I know there was a lot of people that don't like WWE superstars going to AEW, but there is a lot of men on the AEW roster. But it's great to see the female roster get built up. So yeah, because they do need to get built up with some stars and stuff. So yeah, that was pretty good. But yeah, it was an okay segment. But still to come later on tonight, Jon Moxley versus Daniel Garcia 1-on-1. But yeah, up next we're going to be seeing Wardlow taking on JD Drake up next on Dynamite. So yeah, I'll see you guys later until the next thing that happens on Dynamite. So the next thing that happened on AEW Dynamite, it was a one-on-one match. It was Wardlow versus JD Drake 1-on-1, and it was a quick match. JD Drake was trying to do some chops and stuff in the beginning of the match, but then of course at the ending we see Wardlow hitting the power bombs, a few of them onto JD Drake, puts his foot on his chest, and then pins him for the 3 count. So yeah, Wardlow defeated JD Drake tonight in a one-on-one match. That's what happened. And then after the match ended, Tony Schiavone gets in the ring about to interview Wardlow, and then that interview gets interrupted by Smart Mark Sterling. He comes walking out with some security guards, and he said, "Wardlow, you know what you done did? Now you done caused yourself to get a lawsuit because you've been attacking these security guards for weeks now. So yeah, that's why you got this lawsuit coming to you." And one of the security guards gets in the ring, giving Wardlow the papers, and then Wardlow says screw it, power bombs that security guard, laying him out, grabs the papers, rips it up, and then stuff it down in the security guard's mouth. So yeah, that's what he did there, and then walks away. So yeah, it was an okay match. I'll give that match 1 star. That's why I'll give it. It was just Wardlow dominating and stuff. So yeah, that's what happened there. But next we're going to be seeing a women's tag team match. It will be Toni Storm and Ruby Soho versus Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter up next on Dynamite. So yeah, that match will be happening up next. But still to come later on today in the main event, it will be Jon Moxley versus Daniel Garcia 1-on-1 later on tonight in the main event. So yeah, I'll see you guys later until the next thing that happens on Dynamite. So the next thing that happened on AEW Dynamite, it was a tag team match. It was Ruby Soho and Toni Storm versus Dr. Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter in a tag team match. It was a pretty good tag team match. I'm not even going to lie, it was pretty good. At one point, there was a vicious DDT that Jamie Hayter done to Toni Storm, like off the apron onto the ground outside of the ring. That was a vicious one, but it looked good as hell. But then at the ending of this match, we seen Ruby Soho rolling up Ruby Soho rolling up Britt Baker, pinning her, but she kicked out at 2. But then as soon as Britt Baker got back up, she got kicked right in the face by Ruby Soho, and then Ruby hits her finish move, Destination, onto Britt Baker, and then pinned her for the 3 count. So yeah, Toni Storm and Ruby Soho defeated Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter in the tag team match. That's what happened. And then after the match ended, we seen Jamie Hayter come into the ring, hitting Toni Storm in the back with the championship that Britt Baker got from the Women's Owen Hart Foundation tournament. And then we seen Britt Baker holding on to Ruby Soho's foot, and then Ruby gets hit in the face with the title as well. So yeah, Ruby Soho and Toni Storm got laid out after the match ended. So yeah, with the match and all that, I'll give it 2.5 stars. That's why I'll give it. It was a pretty good tag team match. But up next, we're going to be seeing the main event. It will be Jon Moxley versus Daniel Garcia up next on Dynamite. So yeah, that will be the main event, and it will be happening up next. So yeah, I will see you guys later until the next thing happens on AEW Dynamite. See you guys later until then. So the next thing that happened on AEW Dynamite, it was the main event. It was Jon Moxley versus Daniel Garcia 1-on-1, and Chris Jericho was on commentary for this match. And it was a pretty good match. At the ending of this match, we seen Jon Moxley busted open, and then at one point they did like a splash thing through onto the table. They didn't win through it. The table didn't break. It just turned over. And then they got into the ring, and then Jericho, Moxley and Garcia was going at it, and then Jericho comes running down, trying to distract Moxley, but then Eddie Kingston comes down, beating the hell out of Jericho, beating him down and all that. And then Daniel Garcia was trying to roll up Moxley, but Moxley rolled through, hitting the paradigm shift onto Daniel Garcia, and then locks on that submission, all that bulldog headlock submission onto Daniel Garcia, making him tap out. So yeah, Jon Moxley defeated Daniel Garcia tonight in the one-on-one match in tonight's main event. And then Moxley grabs the mic and then he says, "You want blood and guts? You got it." So yeah, that's what happened. It was a pretty good match between Moxley and Daniel Garcia. I'll give that match, I'll give it 3 stars. That's what I'll give it. It was a pretty good main event. So yeah, good main event for tonight's Dynamite. Best segment, MJF, obviously. That was just gold right there. And match of the night, I would say that main event probably. So yeah, that's what I would say. Pretty good tag team match with the women from earlier with Britt Baker and all them. That was pretty good. The 6-man tag team match was pretty good as well with Punk and FTR and all them. So yeah, it was a pretty good Dynamite. It wasn't that bad. So yeah, it was a pretty good one. But yeah, that's all I got to say about tonight's AEW Dynamite. For tonight's Dynamite, I'll give it 7.5 stars. That's what I'll give it. Pretty good show though. So yeah, subscribe to Team W Wrestling on YouTube. Subscribe to my other channel, Word of Chris, and subscribe to this channel, Chris Bales, and follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and I'll be down there in the description box. And I'll see you guys later for this Friday Night SmackDown reviews. See you guys later. Until then.